Okay, welcome back to another episode of High Rated Edison, and today we have Surge 99 on 960 versus Adam JM 95 on 890. So both duelists just outside of the top 100, but both will be fighting to get into the top 100. So opening hands are Proving Ground, Di-Fi, Chariot, Sam Knight and Solemn, Enrise, Honest, Soul, Demise, Advanced Ritual Art, and Upstart. So this is Glad's, and this is the Demise Fairy Christia deck pile thing. Let's go over some of the cards just before we get started. So Enrise, a bit of a complicated summon, but can be special summoned by removing 3 light fairy type monsters and 1 dark fiend monster from your graveyard, and once per turn you can remove and play 1 face up monster on the field. Then it kind of attacks, so it's a bit like a Chaos Sorcerer. Honest, you'll all know. Soul, you should all know from like fairy piles. Demise is like a mini JD, so it's a ritual, but when it's on field, you can pay 2,000 life points to destroy all other cards on the field. Advanced Ritual Art is a really cool kind of way to summon out Demise and Ruin normally, where you can ritual summon any ritual monster by sending normal monsters from your deck to the graveyard whose total equals that level, so kind of dumping the material from the deck as opposed to from your hand or from your field. And what they'll typically use with this is the light normal fairy monster, which I'm forgetting the name of, to also increase the fairy count while summoning out the ritual monsters. And then this is Upstart. So Adam going first. They're just going to pass. Okay. Yeah. Not entirely sure why. You have plays. But okay. Sam Knight coming in now. Sam Knight going to swap out for the Laquari, and they've put the Di-Fi on field as well. So big Laquari and Solemn and Chariot set, which is pretty good. Draws into the Ruin. Ruin, another ritual monster summoned off the same spell. End of the world, but also it can be summoned via Advanced Ritual Art, and this can, when it destroys a monster, make a second attack. So Advanced Ritual Art coming down now, so this is going to banish the 2 fairies. So yeah, this is the fairy card I was talking about. Demise, definitely not pronouncing that right. Dark Witch, so they're going to banish those. Okay, players just debating if they can do that. They can do it because it's for effect, not for cost to send to grave. So they'll just be banished. That's going to summon up the Demise. Demise is going to attempt to go off. It's going to come out with Chariot. Going to upstart into a second copy of Demise. And a mid-defeat. Okay, yeah, fast game 1. Yeah, not really much anything Adam can do there after the Chariot resolves. Let's see if they do any better in game number 2. So opening hands are Waboku, Mirror Force, Sam Knight, Equest, and Mamillo. Here we've got Ruin, Manju. If you not read Manju, it just adds a ritual monster or ritual spell from deck to hand on summon. Upstart, Trade-in, Soul, and Christia. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how they play this one out. So Manju's going to add Advanced Ritual Art. Upstart going to join to Snipe Hunter and pass over. Snipe Hunter's kind of good in this deck, right? So if you draw any of the Dark Witches or whatever, you can use them as material, pump your fairy count up for Christia. Okay, seeing the vision. So Darius coming down now. Darius going to get in, bluffing Honest on Adam's side. Going to bring out a Laquari. Sets the Waboku and passes, draws the Heavy Storm. Okay. Snipe Hunter coming down now. They're going to pitch the Soul for the back row. Both players just confirming how Snipe Hunter destroys and in what order, so they're going to use the Waboku. Advanced Ritual Art now is going to dump the 2 fairies. That gives you 4 fairies for Christia. Wow, okay. So Ruin's coming out now. And Christia going to add back the Manju for some follow-up. Snipe Hunter going to try and pop the Laquari. Successfully does. Go to end your under Waboku. Okay, yeah. They realise, okay, cool, they pass over. Draws into Bestiary now, so Sam Knight coming down, that's going to get over the Snipe Hunter. They're not going to tag it out. Okay. Yeah, they can't special summon under Christia, that's why. I'm being an idiot. So, yeah, going to set the Mirror Force and pass this. Yeah, as I said, it's Mirror Force. If they don't use the heavy on it, then that is just it. But yeah, Surge a bit defeat there, and we're going to go on to game number 3. It's a cool deck, the Fairy Ritual Pile thing. It's a lot of fun to see played, and something that you won't normally see out there. So opening hands this game are Dark Witch, My Body, Soul, Breaker, and Manju versus Chariot, Waboku, Sam Knight, very loyal Sam Knight, maybe Surge plays 2, Prison, Test Tiger, and Equest. So I'm going to normal summon the Sam Knight, set the Waboku and the Chariot. This is looking very familiar. Draws into the Chaos Sword now. So the Dark Witch is going to come in. That's going to get Waboku'd. Nice. So Sam Knight gets to swap out for Mamillo. Mamillo gets to pop the Dark Witch. They're going to use My Body to negate the Mamillo, destroy it, and protect the Dark Witch. Yeah, I mean, fine, I guess. Dark Witch is, like, unironically quite tough for Glads to deal with, just because it's 18, and none of them naturally get over that. So, yeah, it's quite a cool card. If you can stick it on field, it's not terrible for a vanilla card. Draws into Laquari now, so Laquari coming down with Test Tiger. Test Tiger going to resummon out the Laquari and get in for 300. Bluffing Honest again. I'm not sure what this is doing. I'm going to tag out for the Equest now. And Equest is going to add the Mamillo back to hand. Sets the D Prison now. Passes over, draws to Christia. They're quite far away from that. Yeah, only got one at the minute. So Breaker coming down now. Going to add the token. That's going to get Charioted. Yep, that makes sense. Chaos Sword. Going to banish both of those out now. Yeah. And they're going to banish the Equest. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, this hand doesn't really do anything into Chaos Sword. And they can just keep banishing. So the D Prison doesn't go off. Unless you set it, of course. So, just going to set the Royal Decree and pass over. Draws into the Die Fire. Not helpful now. Draws into the Breaker. Yeah, you can break at this as well if you want to. So, Breaker going to use its token to use its counter to pop the back row. Going to beat over the Equest. No fear of Hoplomous here. I'm going to get in with the Chaos Sword. Draws into Retiari now. Yeah. Yeah, Glads are really going to struggle to get back into this without like a Test Tiger. Without a Rescue Cat or something big. Okay, so it's just admits defeat. Yeah, I mean, what are you really doing here? Setting a monster and passing isn't going to get you everywhere. And you're just not going to be able to make it out of there. Manju's going to come down. They're going to get Advanced Ritual Art. They're going to wait on a Ritual. Yeah, it makes sense. This deck is really cool. This kind of fairy deck, we really saw it go off last game. This is a bit more of a control version that they've kind of sided into. I assume they're siding into the breakers and stuff. But yeah, it's a really cool like combo deck. I don't know that it's very good. I think they've said it's just been a bit unlucky in their pickups here, in their tempo. But I don't know if it's good, but I think it's cool. Whenever I see anyone kind of refer to like Demise and all that kind of stuff, or like some of the cards that this makes, it's like it makes the cards that you just compare to other cards which are better than it. So like Demise is a mini JD, and Emrise is like a way harder to summon Chaos Sorcerer. So I kind of feel like that's where the deck kind of sits. I think the Advanced Ritual Art into like dumping cards from deck and then getting Christia online, that's really cool. That's what the deck really has going for it, the kind of fairy interaction this has with Christia. But outside of that, it just feels like it can sometimes fall flat, or you see games like game 1 where they're just drawing not optimally to make anything happen. That said though, it was obviously really strong here where it was able to demonstrate what it can do, and I do hope we see this deck kind of like fine-tuned and then like become sort of one of the outside contenders for like some of the smaller local events and then maybe work its way up to some of the bigger events and really start testing it, see how it does. I did see that at the recent RBET there was a deck mentioned. I don't think it topped, but I think they went over I think E3 Yu-Gi-Oh went over the list and just talked about it a bit. So I think this deck's really cool. Adam is clearly quite high rated, so knows what he's doing, and I just think we need to see kind of more refinement and more people really take it seriously and see where it can get to versus our current meta.